Hello.
And welcome
to
Dragon Tavern.
Yeah. Hi everyone.
We rehearsed that for 3 days.
Yeah, we didn't. This is our comic book review of issue number 3 of Critical Role Origins.
Vox Machina Origins.
Yep.
Wonderful book.
I don't say Critical Role Origins. It's not that.
It's not that. Written by Matthew Mercer and Matthew Colville.
Yes.
Who's probably watching us. I mean, he did retweet us.
Okay, we're moving on from that.
last time, so he's probably, hey Matt.
Yeah,
love your work.
The art was done by Olivia Sampson, so we'll go through the little credits because it's good to show them some love.
Absolutely.
Art Olivia Sampson, colours and lettering by Chris Northrop.
Love this.
And the layout of the comic book was done by Chris Cowan.
Why do we have you
putting
doing
it
the
down,
names
okay.
every time?
Now, the reason why I mentioned the layout is something that Matt Colville kind of released on his Q&A, that he had some trouble with working out how the layout to do it, because it's the first comic book he's ever done. So the layout team is actually quite important.
Yeah. Cool, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the comic in general, then we'll put a spoiler tag up and talk about it in depth about what actually happens.
Exactly.
So you can watch the first half video if you haven't seen it yet, and then buy it and watch the rest later.
There will be a spoiler tag once we switch to that mode.
It'll be up either here or somewhere. He's editing, so.
I'll figure it out.
So yeah, we'll start with we might as well start with the layout. This issue had, I think, a great step forward in how the panels were kind of arranged. We had some stuff where people were coming out of the panels and out of the frame and over the background, which I just thought was a wonderful way of bringing it to life.
It felt a lot more comic booky.
Yeah.
If it makes sense at all. It
Yep.
was really using the format to do its visibility. I did like that there was a new particular D&D specific panels that do come up.
Yeah.
I think that was an amazing addition, and I do think overall, just with the tone, just how everything went, this issue felt more more Dungeons and Dragon-esque than the previous ones.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to mention is just how much depth there is in the artworks. Just with a line here or there, just with the perspective, the angles of the characters being in front of a street that tunnels down, or a character close up, or in the middle of battle, the swing, the stuff. It's just visceral. It's just expertly done.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job with the characters. You can immediately pick up what race they are.
Yeah.
There's a character at the beginning, but you immediately know he's a half-orc.
Yeah, because of the teeth.
Yeah, because of the teeth, and it's done very subtly, very well, and it's not overthought.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. And overall, I think the comic was it was still wordy. It was still, there's a lot of discussion and talking, still a lot of plot being thrown out, but a lot of combat. So I think they got the balance really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the writing in this was incredible because the way that the stories and the characters were woven together, and when they kind of met each other and you know that kind of thing, just wonderfly done.
Yeah, Matt Colville loves writing for it.
Yeah.
He was a bit hesitant making a comic book. I've watched a few of his Q&As about it, and he was very hesitant. But once he got into it, he just loves writing for these characters. And if another series got commissioned for it, I reckon he'll do it again.
Yeah, I reckon that Matthew Colville, you can tell that he's really invested in the story of Vox Machina because he's doing it justice so well.
He's a critter.
Yeah,
He's a follower just like us. He's just got talent behind him. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's kind of our general view.
Yeah.
It's really hard to speak in generalizations when we're talking about a comic. So I do think you guys should go out and buy it, read it, come back and watch the rest of the review so you know. It's on Comixology, links are down below.
It's not expensive at all. It's affordable, and you don't really need food and rent and stuff. I think this is much better.
And even if you just read this one, didn't read the other ones, you probably could follow along pretty well.
Yeah, if you know Critical Role, even if you didn't, you might be able to get a good sense of it.
All right,
spoiler tag.
Yeah, we'll put spoiler tag. This is a spoiler point. We're going to be talking about the plot. Calm down, everyone that gets angry about us talking about the plot. You've been warned.
Fair warning. It's up in big letters.
Yes.
It's rotating in 3D text.
It's not.
Screaming across the stage.
It's not.
There's a short film that he's going to make right here. That's called The Short Film. Subtitle. Spoiler tag. Or we're just going to put it in text.
We'll just put it in text, Oliver.
That's right.
Unless you want to do all that. I don't think you do.
I would, but I've got an appointment with the Queen. She wants to check my teeth. It's very difficult.
It's so weird.
Anyway, all right. So it starts with now each comic book, each issue so far has started with a picture of Vox Machina in total, and then a picture of the characters that we're going to start following. Question: the tree that they're standing in front of, is that the Sun Tree in Vasselheim? Because the very first couple of panels are standing in front of a big tree with a big hole in it. I do know that.
I'm pretty sure the tree in Vasselheim is bigger.
Okay.
I think that was a huge tree.
Yeah. Because just because it had like a big
It's a sun
hole,
tree as well, so
so it might not be.
So and it doesn't look very sun tree.
No, that did cross my mind. It was just the fact that there was like a big hole in it, and I thought they'd use it to dimension.
No, it's the tree they start with. The issue 1, they come out of a little tree hole.
Okay, all right. So it's not the sun tree, but anyway, we start with essentially someone being tortured, what looks like beneath the city. Again, Chris Northrop, man, you can really like I was watching this, right? I was reading it, and just the colours alone, I was like, oh right, they're underground, and it's low lit, and there's torches. It's
pretty right straight to it.
Yeah.
Now, as Oliver was saying, it focuses on the two characters we will be mainly following in this issue, which is Tiberius and Keeler.
Yeah.
So this kind of starts with Tiberius and Keeler's kind of team that they're currently with, and a spiraling Herogor. I will put it down here. Horror. Anyway,
why do we have you doing the name every time?
Anyway, he is basically the head of the class in this particular town.
Yeah.
And he's torturing someone of the rival guild, all those other assassins, to try and get more information.
Yep.
So Tiberius is a bit put off by the torturing, and a lot of the other party members does torturing actually? I guess torturing does work.
Yeah. Essentially, he gets a whole bunch of spikes and throws them at the dude, and he breaks, and he tells them that the other guild has been poisoning the swamps.
And the other guild's from Wildemont. Wildemont.
Stop saying, every time you say Wildemount, it takes over a small part of my brain, and now every time I see Wildemount, my head goes, Wildemount! And it's like, I need like a melon baller or something.
So the rivals were from Wildemont. So basically we've got the clasp on one side, and we've got those rivals from Wildemont, and the rivals from Wildemont are actually coming to Stillben and cursing the water from what the clasp believes. Because
essentially the peasants that kind of get stuff from the swamp or live near the swamp are the main source of selling narcotics for the clasp, and the prime source of prostitution.
100%. All of them, apparently.
Yeah.
So every single member of that
it's still being as a prostitute. Which, hey, you got to make ends meet.
I mean, in New Zealand it's legal, it's fine. It's just 100%.
It's like
high.
It's like who's? I mean, if you are a prostitute, are you just hiring other? Like, do you get like mates rates? I don't know.
Yeah, and if it's not everybody, I was just saying for the class, all the class prostitutes, 100% of them come from this one town. They really need to diversify. Their business sense is just ridiculous. I mean, different people from different cities.
But anyway, we meet the class for the first time properly in Vox Machina Origins, and we get a sense of Tiberius and his kind of reservedness of what's going on.
So the spiraling, the chief of the clasp of Stillben, he kind of basically tells them to just hurry up. He gives them a bit more money and kind of poisons their known compatriot, and basically just say stop mucking around, get onto it. And then they kind of have to.
Yeah.
They don't really much because they want to fight back, but there's assassins all around them. They're kind of locked into this deal.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we jump.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything on that before we jump to the
next?
next?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, we'll jump to Vex and Vex.
Yes.
Sneaking through the pipes in the city.
What I love about the way that Vex and Vex are drawn is it is quite difficult to tell them apart unless you kind of go, oh, that one's carrying a bow kind of thing. They are really quite similar, and they're twins, so it should be. So I think that's just fun.
Their personalities definitely kind of shine through. Yeah. You know,
essentially that in like a sewer grate, peering out from this little thing reminiscent of It. And I love the writing on their bickering. I think that's hilarious because they bicker in a way that there is like love underlying, the same way that you and me kind of bicker. There's that underlying kind of that
underlying
love,
what, Ollie?
Sexual tension, underlying like I don't know, underlying like love. Like you can see them bickering, but you can see the support that they have for each other. It's just a really good way of getting across the characters because that is the heart of the characters.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yep. That's exactly what I do. So they sneak through the kind of pipes, and they're kind of trying to find this alchemist.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened in the previous issues.
Yeah. Now they do find him. They see him coming out of the building, and they say, "Well, we should follow him." And they're like, "Well, not on the roofs because they're covered on the roofs. That's where they attacked us from." And yeah, essentially stalking ensues.
So basically, they kind of follow the alchemist as they go, as the alchemist walks along, they follow the pipes, and then you get a really cool D&D layout. First time you've seen this in the comic, of basically showing where some upcoming guards are and where they are. Which is something you would see if you played it in the game.
Essentially, we get a battle map, which is just man, that was such a good device. When I saw that, I was like, no wait, is that what I think it is? And then I was like, I saw the little the letters.
It was A1 and A2.
I was like, holy crap, that's genius. That actually really makes me excited for future episodes. Because basically what that means is they're not so tied to the comic book format that they can't fourth wall break and they can't kind of expand. They are expanding. They're doing things that are slightly, I wouldn't say risky, but slightly like outside the box in terms of framing.
Well, it kind of adds the D&D element to the comic book, but also gives the audience a different perspective than you would normally get in a comic book. You can see people sneaking up and you can see it before it actually happens. It's really cool.
Basically, I think Matthew Colville and Matt Mercer are masters of the fourth wall breaking. Like Monty Python did it near definitively with some of their sketches.
Well, keep in mind, Matt didn't write it.
No.
Matt doesn't write it.
No, Matt Mercer, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Mercer, sorry.
Matthew Colville.
Matthew Colville.
Sorry, Matthew Colville
so
Matt
Mercer tells them the story,
yeah,
and then Matt Colville kind of takes that and then builds the text and everything to go with it. So it's clear just to make the distinction because this would have been something that Matt Mercer didn't think, and then
yeah, sorry.
I just want to make sure that
we're not giving too much credit to our glorious overlord Matt Mercer when Matthew Colville is clearly the one to receive the praise.
Exactly.
No, it's fair. So basically, we have the D&D maps that really give that cool element, that meta feeling. Because come on, D&D is meta. You always have meta jokes when you're playing D&D as being a person playing a character. The other great fourth wall stuff comes from Scanlan, who seems aware that some of this is kind of taking place in the fantasy realm.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, we'll get to it. But anyway, they go down, they take up the two guards that are following them, and they've got red cloaks, so that will be part of the class, but they're not part of the rival group. I'm just clear for that. You can easily tell the rival group don't have the red hoods. They have more greyish ones, so that's the kind of way of kind of dividing the two apart. So they kind of take up the guards and they continue on. They say they're moving up in the world because the guards kind of had some kind of little magic stuff. So we're kind of increasing.
The first magical loot in Vox Machina Origins.
Yeah, loot.
Well, they looted, didn't they?
No, it was just magical powers.
Oh, yes, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Critical Role 10 for some reason. When Vax and Vex.
We filmed that ages ago.
I know.
Anyway,
it's so hot.
Yeah. So we switch then to Tiberius and Keyleth. Back to Tiberius and Keyleth.
Now, I for one love the idea of going from character to character to character. There's different scenes and watching them slowly weave together. Station 11 was a book that did that marvelously with but they did it with 15 different characters. But I think Matthew Colville really nails that.
Yeah, it's with the Origins one, you kind of have to bring the team together, and you kind of have to do it this way. Otherwise, you kind of focus too much on one character or character group or the other. It's
the same thing with stage acting. You don't want too long in a specific scene if you want to set up the entire world.
Exactly,
and he balances it really well.
Exactly. So Tiberius and Keyleth are now in the pub. They're kind of talking about this situation. We learned that the water's basically called the poison that had been used. It's called the water of death. There is another name to it, but me and names. I'm not going to say it.
Do you want to hand over and I'll say it?
I haven't written it down because I knew I wouldn't be able to say it. I knew you wouldn't have written it down.
That's true. Keyleth decides to go into dog form. Now, as a druid and starting low level, as we know, kind of metally, you don't get to wild shape into anything too interesting. Well, not interesting, too powerful. In terms of your challenge rating, if you're Circle of the Moon, has to be half of your druid level rounded down. So a dog and a wolf is not 100% useful in battle, so much as something like a bear, but a dog has the advantage on wisdom saves and perception checks that rely on smell. So Keyleth the Druid, that's the meta kind of framing. Keyleth the Druid, within the world of fantasy, turns into a dog, smells the poison, and hey...
To track it. There's a beam of light that looks like my arm's cut off.
I thought it was more like God really likes that arm.
Anyway...
He's trying to be abducted into the spaceship that brought him here, but... they're not strong enough.
Never. So yeah, basically Keyleth turns into a dog, sniffs the poison, and they start tracking the alchemist as well.
Yeah.
So now we've got Vax and Vex tracking, we've got Keyleth and Tiberius tracking, and we've already had Scanlan and Grog tracking as well. So what does that feel like that they're all going to come together? That's what's about to happen.
Yes! So, essentially, they all find themselves in the same place. I do believe Grog and Scanlan are right.
Yeah, so Grog and Scanlan burst through the door of the alchemist, and basically they get into a bit of a scrap with the alchemist and kind of take him out. Scanlan puts he knocks him out. I believe he sleeps him.
He uses sleep,
He uses sleep. And then they start rummaging through. But as they rummage through, we get two half-elves bursting through the door.
Vax and Vex.
Yeah. And then a little scuffle takes place.
Yes.
The first interaction
of the characters that, yes, Vox Machina is bubbling, it's becoming a thing. It's
and just fighting each other.
Yeah.
Just going at it.
It's wonderful. They kind of shout out, these guys are our friends, oh, don't kill these ones, we're kind of working to, and it all happens.
Yeah, they don't realise they're working for the same, they're going for the same cause.
Yeah.
And they're working for different people, but the same cause.
Yeah.
And then we get another song from Scanlan.
Yep.
Do you know?
I don't. I know that.
You're going to be so disappointed. So he says Thunderstruck.
Oh, Thunderstruck.
Who was it by?
AC/DC.
There we go.
I
knew you would get there. You just had to be prompted.
Yes. It's so. Again, as Matthew Colville's dedication to getting the characters right, and the fact that he's doing parodies of songs with Scanlan. Yes, that's exactly what we wanted.
Yes, and without violating copyright.
No,
it's good.
I also think that the choice of Scanlan as being the one that breaks the fourth wall was perfect as well.
It is perfect, and we'll get into exactly one of the quotes that he's done because I wrote it down.
You
really
want
good.
to say that. Yeah,
I really want to say it. So basically, they start kind of scuffing with each other. Don't really realise they're on the same side. But then the Waldmont assassins. Waldmont. I'm trying to make it right.
Please.
Burst through the door. Oh, not really, but no, they don't burst through the door. They just appear.
Yeah.
Because that's critical. They just appear,
right.
And then they're like, oh. And then Scanlan goes, we fought these guys before, and then they basically team up.
Yeah.
So basically, two superheroes going at it together and realise, oh, we're on the same side. Let's fight the assassins.
Yeah.
There you go.
Again, the battle stuff, in terms of how it's drawn, it's all mid-swing kind of stuff.
It's very violent as well.
It's great and gory, which I think is it's Matthew's style. Matthew's style is, when he does a battle, he describes a lot of gore. So it's good that they're doing that. But it's just, you see just these still shots, and it feels like a battle. It feels like it's intense.
And I love how they jazzed it up with Scanlan doing Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
Where he just makes fun of that blonde assassin.
Oh my god, that was so good. So we actually, because like Vicious Mockery, you say, I say this to him, you roll, and then say this much damage, right? But we don't actually very often get to see that ever, I don't think. Dialogue and role play.
It's really great. And he's just like, ooh, make fun of me like everyone else.
He just looks down and goes, I didn't think that
I kind of feel bad for him.
I know!
And then his head got cut off. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of...
So, overall impressions, I think the artwork is beautiful.
We're not finished yet.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, we've got heaps more to go.
Okay, we keep going.
Anyway, then Tiberius and Keyleth show up.
It's so hot! It's 4 million degrees.
You can't use that excuse. You already knew this was going to happen. You can't.
It's fine, that won't happen.
Anyway, Tiberius shows up because they start to kind of lose. They realise this battle's not really going in their favour. Then Tiberius and Keyleth turns up, and Tiberius goes, oh, the gnome, and I think he says gnome or something along those lines. But Keyleth says, oh, the assassin or the elf, something like that. I can't remember the exact wording. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah.
But then they realise, oh, this is how they all connect to each other, and they're all on the same side. And then Tiberius breathes fire and turns one of the assassins on fire, and they basically kind of win.
Yeah.
Beat the assassins for now, and basically Vax says something like, this is very confusing, I'm not sure what's going on, and Scanlan breaks the fourth wall and says, there's a lot of plot threads converging on this scene, which I thought was great.
Yes, oh man. So I think like when we read the first one and we saw that we're starting with the individual kind of characters.
We're not finished. Didn't realise that.
Okay, keep going.
Did you read the end?
I did. I thought that
was
was
at the end.
I'm just gonna look it up.
Anyway, so Scanlan does another song. He does the Queen. We will. Okay, the song parody is "We Will Rock You," but he uses another word, which if we swear on here, we typically get copyright strikes. So.
Yeah.
But then then Grog points out the fact that these guys just appeared. So they look at the mirror and realize that this could be a teleportation thing. Scanlan uses a spell. I'm not sure what spell he uses. I think it's like Detect Magic.
It was Detect Magic.
It was Detect Magic.
And it failed.
And he fails and curses the reason why he learned the spell.
Yeah.
And then the blonde woman from the last episode comes through the door. We realize that through Tiberius that she's part of the Myriad, which is part of the Wildemont. So the Myriad. M-Y-R-I-D.
Yeah, Myriad.
Myriad. Don't correct me if you haven't actually read it.
I did. I just forgot. I thought that ended with the battle. I don't know.
No. So the blonde woman comes and then puts Grog in some kind of weird green stasis bubble, which I'm not sure of the spell. I'm pretty sure there's some D&D equivalent of it.
Yeah.
But that's where the episode ends, or the issue ends.
Yes.
Until next week.
Yes. So
now you can do your damn wrap up.
All right.
Because we've actually wrapped it up.
I read it like yesterday, and I've already, I
Where
thought
does the
that it
note
was about-
stop? Because you do write.
Recognize the sorcerer, and we tie it together flawlessly. Is what I've got.
So you identify the druid, the sorcerer come in.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
On my notes.
On your notes, but you didn't. Anyway.
Yeah. So essentially, when the first issue, I realized that we were starting with characters on their own, and we're gonna you know mix and stuff. I was really excited for that because I thought, hey, I want to know more about where they started. That's very important because I'm a big fan of Critical Role, big credit. And then I thought, I hope it doesn't take too long because I also want to see the first kind of interactions of Vox Machina as a unit. I think 3 issues was a great amount of time.
Yeah, to kind of form them together. Obviously, they're going to have a bit of banter between each other to actually become a team.
Yeah.
And for them to kind of dump their old teams to actually form this one. Because you have to remember Tiberius and Keyleth are still with their team. Grog and... Not with the Clasp. They're hired by the Clasp, I think. That's where they're at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think they're actually... It's very vague. I'm not sure if they're a team hired by the Clasp or whether they're actually part of the Clasp. We'll find out.
We will find out, I assume, because...
Yeah, and Grog and Scanlan are with their team, and Vex are kind of alone and want to be there. So
well, they are still for hire. Like, they're still being hired by the guy that wants them to find out what the poison is.
Yeah.
But it's a low gold yield, so that's not going to be... I mean, that's the goal anyway, so they can still go with Vox Machina and be part of their original quest.
Yeah, it's just a question of what they do with their teams that they're with at the moment. Do they dump them and move on, or do they get killed off? That will be the big question of the ultimate reason why they form Vox Machina now they're actually all together. And yeah, it's going really good. I really love the comic at the moment, and I think it's flowing really, really nice, and I really hope they continue doing that.
I do. Like, one thing that I was hoping for was a bit more of, especially with Vax, a bit more of the character development kind of roleplay stuff. Like, when you get to see that he's quite an in-depth kind of... he has quite an in-depth sadness within him. We haven't really seen that yet. But I imagine it might come.
The sadness
later.
really doesn't develop, and even in the actual games itself until later on, because he once he kind of signs up with the Raven Queen, that's when it kind of comes up.
He gets a bit heavy,
and he's not at the moment because he hasn't made the deal since.
Even with kind of like Grog and Pike is going to be when Pike comes in.
Pike won't.
Sorry, when Grog and Scanlan when they find themselves as buddies, like we've got them working together, but we don't have that kind of camaraderie of visiting whorehouses and I mean, it's here, but I think it's...
I think we have to see it.
Yeah.
If you take it from, like, you don't know anything about Vox Machina, you don't really know the Grog and Scanlan. You know they're friends.
Yeah.
You know they're close.
Yeah.
But you don't really know how tight that bond is.
Because they are pretty much best friends later on. Yeah.
It's worth noting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into super spoilers.
Okay.
And things that that have been revealed about the comic going forward.
Sure.
Super spoilers. I'll put super spoiler.
And we've only got 2 bars on the battery.
No, that's all right. We'll find it. We'll find. Don't panic. We know Pike and Percy are not going to be in this comic, but we will get Talison's original character that he played before Percy. So a lot of people don't know this. He played a white dragonborn before Percy came along.
Cool.
So we will be seeing that from what people are saying, and I believe Matt Cole will confirm that as well. But unfortunately, we won't see any Pike or Percy in this one. So don't go in there expecting, like, where are they? They in the story of Vox Machina, they don't join until after they've actually formed up. So it makes sense they're not there.
Yeah. So Because
super spoilers over. I'll just go back to spoilers.
Because it's Vox Machina Origins, we imagine that it will end with, I don't know, the start of the stream? Somewhere around there? No?
No, they'll start probably with the games that they played at home.
Oh, yeah.
Because they played games at home as once they've Vox Machina actually started. Because during that's where Pike joined. That's where Percy's old character left, and then his new character came in.
That's where they're going to end the series, you think?
No.
Oh, I thought it was going to end at the start of the stream.
No. This is what we're seeing now is before they even played the games at home. So basically, we would have to get another series to explain what happened from there to the start of the stream.
Now, do you think that because Vox Machina was alive at the end of the campaign, they were still there, they're still doing stuff in the world. Do you think, and I hope we do, we get a couple of issues beyond, like the more explanation of what happened after Vaxley, spoilers, but after Vox Machina story? Do you reckon we'll get some issues? Maybe just one or two, just to kind of say, give a bit
that's
more
not how comic books work, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I think if they are going to do more, they'll do another series. And it's been selling pretty well from what I've seen. It's been featured well prominently on the Dark Horse website.
Yeah.
And people, this light is maybe a bit annoying for some people. But it's been well received, and I think if we do get another series, we're going to get probably the Pike and Percy introduction of what they did pre-game. I think it will be a couple of series or a lot of issues before we actually get into the stream comicization, if we ever do get there, of Critical Role.
But yeah, fantastic. We're really enjoying the comics, and I can't wait. It's another month for the next one. I can see you doing that.
I know.
So it's another month till we get the next one, which gives us time to reread them. But it's fun. It's good to know that there's content coming out, and especially in the new format, which they're doing really well. So we're happy about it.
I'm really enjoying it, and I would recommend it to anybody who's out there that loves Critical Role or just loves comics in general. I think it's a really good comic book story. If you take out the Critical Role element, take out the D&D, I think it's coming along and it's building and it's coming to the crescendo of the story, and it's going to be cool.
I love that we get Vax already slightly enamoured with Keyleth, because that's just lovely.
That didn't happen this issue.
Not issue.
This issue one.
That was from episode 1.
And hopefully you find out who the blonde woman is.
Yeah.
Because Mira Vague, I think she's the leader of the
Myriad. It's exciting because we've got essentially what we've got here is new plot lines with the people we love, just from a different angle.
Now we're going to leave it there because of the light. It's kind of getting worse.
Yeah.
The battery's fine. It's halfway. 50%.
I know, but anyway.
That's not how batteries work.
Well, usually the last two are like quicker. Any Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah. That is us, Dragon Tavern, reviewing issue 3 of Vox Machina Origins.
Yes.
Something that we're really enjoying, and I can't wait until we can buy the hard copies. He will get it probably pre-order because he's a collector, and I will borrow it from him once that happens because I'm poor. And that's our recap kind of review of Critical Role Vox Machina Origins issue 3.
Catch you next month.
Retweet us, Matthew Colville.
No.
Again, it made me happy.